Yep.
Gunman Clive 2 for the 3DS. He's prefaced this by saying I did not play the original a whole lot, so if I'm impressed by things and they were in the first game, I don't really know. I played it for like 5 minutes, but I didn't put much time into the original one, but here we are. So you pick a character, and the stages rotate around the world. And this is it's a pure platformer. There's no shooting up, down, diagonally, none of that stuff. You just shoot left or right, and you jump. You jump and shoot. That is what you do in this game. It's pretty straightforward. It has a sort of a sepia plus kind of color palette with an animated kind of sketchbook look to it, much like the original. And when you die, you start from the beginning of the level, regardless of where you die. There's no checkpoints. That's just it. When you die, you start over again. That's a gift and a curse. You can't upgrade your gun. If you get hit or die, the upgrades go away. Yeah. But you can get like a spread gun, or like a more powerful single bullet. I think you can also like shoot more rapidly for the regular gun, and not necessarily a spread gun, but I think that's correct. I didn't hang on to power-ups for too long, fortunately. I don't know what the story is behind Gunman Clive, but he has to stay on his toes. Everything's trying to kill him. Everything and everyone. He's a wanted man. They want him dead. There's no story or anything. It's just you jumping and shooting. It's a platformer because it says so. Clive doesn't ask for permission. Clive just takes. And the environments are pretty varied. Yeah, I did complete the game, but I'm playing pretty horrible in this video only because I'm holding the 3DS at a kind of an awkward angle to record, but that's fine. But the levels do offer different mechanics, which I definitely enjoy. So it's not just jumping and shooting and running over the exact same looking levels. There's a lot of variety in the game as well. And plenty of boss fights too. The boss fights are just as varied as the levels themselves. As you can see. Yeah, so you gotta stay on your toes. And that variety I mentioned, like on land, on the sea, and other places. Gotta dodge that one. And some of obviously, the Mega Man comparison cannot be denied, even before we got to this thing with the blocks and a huge dinosaur. Yes, it was a dragon in Mega Man 2, but I could not help but be reminded of it. But there are other dinosaurs, ones that don't attack you. Use them as a conveyance of sorts. Why? I have no idea, but I enjoy the game. Yeah, that's that bigger bullet I mentioned. And the minecart, but not like the frustratingly, not like a Donkey Kong Country minecart where you're ready to throw your controller against the wall. Oh, dinosaurs too. They combine the two things. And the levels where you ride into the screen on horseback, jumping over boulders, shooting people, dodging things. It's a pleasure. It's just platforming because it's platforming, for the most part. It's just levels where you're riding on the back of a panda and a giant buzzsaw is trying to kill you. Why? I don't know. Just because. Just accept it for what it is. It's a giant buzzsaw and a panda bear. You can fly in the game. On the back of a pterodactyl. Just because. Having not seen as much of the original, I don't know if it was as wild and wacky, but it's just a fun game. It's a for people who like to play a platformer. You don't have to worry about cutscenes and really dialogue. You just walk to the right, shoot stuff, jump over stuff. And this is one of the other characters you can use. Her ability allows her to float. I'm forgetting all their names though. But anyway, she can float by by holding the jump button down. This gentleman here, I guess, is like a difficulty mode in of himself because he doesn't have any projectile weapons. He uses the spear, which make the game considerably more difficult. And then there's duck mode. Once again, the jury's out, but yeah, the duck, from as far as I can tell, can't attack, and I guess practices just avoidance, which would make the game even nuttier. But yep, Gunman Clive 2.